So, hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Special warm welcome if you're brand new here. My name's KiwiSimsKate. Kiwi because I'm from New Zealand, Sims because I love the Sims, and Kate because that's my name. Welcome back to another speed build. It's been a hot minute. It's been about a month, I think, since I've released a video on this channel, like a speed build on this channel. I have been saving my live streams to my channel, but it's been at least a month since my last speed build. So first of all, apologies for that. Life's just been super busy, lots of things happening. Obviously, we're leading up to Christmas shortly as well. So lots to do. Work's super busy. I've had a few videos that have actually been kind of partly finished, and then finally I got around to completing this one here, which I built on stream a few months back now, and finally got around to recording the voiceover. Recording the voiceover is probably my least favorite part of creating these videos, just because it always, even after all these years, feels a little bit awkward, and often I feel like I repeat myself, and I don't even know if it's particularly fascinating or interesting to listen to, but I do it anyway. And I do, once I get them done, I sort of think to myself, oh, I did easily fill in 30-40 minutes of voiceover. So good thing I'm really good at rambling for you all. This build here is a apartment block. Actually, I had this really strong urge to build a multi-level apartment block, nothing too big. So this ends up having 3 separate apartments, and each floor is a separate apartment. I wanted it to feel like I wanted it to feel a bit more like maybe suburban style apartment, less of like an inner city high rise, which would maybe be like a fairly city fringe apartment or something. There's lots of these kinds of things in the like surrounding suburbs of the cities where I live. I also know that there can be issues for some people, particularly if you've got lower end spec computers, running too many apartments in one building if you're using the for rent expansion pack to actually create different apartments. I think the more you add, the more likelihood there's going to be some glitches and bugs and things. So I wanted this to be playable, just like most of my speed builds, and something that would not be too glitchy or too buggy on many people's different devices. So I got the inspiration for the look and feel of the apartment, as I often do. Good old Pinterest. I saw the front of this really cool, I think it was 3 or could have even been a 4-level apartment. And it had this brick kind of cutout piece that I've used here at the front right, with a stairwell, an outdoor stairwell just hidden behind it. And I really liked that architectural feature. So that was the main inspiration. And then most of the rest of the build is kind of just from my head, from where the inspiration led me from there. The back is just my work as well. So that was trickier. It's always tricky to come up with something new and functional and creative, and I really enjoy starting with a Pinterest or a Google image search just to spark something and spark some ideas, particularly the more I build, because I try not to do the same thing over and over again, and that means a lot of brain power to think of new ideas and new styles. So yeah, thank goodness for Pinterest. The way I built these apartments as well, because there's 3 levels, 3 separate apartments, I wanted to do something different with each floor. So I have completely furnished the ground floor apartment as if there's a sim or sims living there. The next floor, the middle floor, is very plainly furnished. So it's fully furnished. There are beds and furniture and everything in the middle floor apartment, but there's not a lot of clutter or personalised items. And then the top apartment, I've furnished very, very simply, as if it was almost like a show home, a show apartment that your sim can completely fit out with furniture that you want to choose. So each floor has a different level of like the amount of furnishing. Also, each level has a slightly different floor plan. I wanted to try some different styles with the shape of the whole building. I started with the ground floor, and then I obviously had to kind of come up with some different floor plans for the next 2 floors. And I think all of them work. I'm not sure I have a favorite in terms of floor plan. I think I quite like the middle floor. Maybe the middle floor is my favorite. I'm having trouble remembering it now because I did build this a while ago and I'm only just getting around to doing my voiceover, like just before I published this video. So yeah, apologies. I'm going to have to kind of talk around the bits and pieces that I can even remember doing. I'm watching the video back as I'm recording, so obviously my memory's being jogged. But I don't recall all the details of every level. What I do remember though is I was pretty intentional when it comes to the selection of furnishing for the interior of these apartments. I wanted, because they're all slightly different, I wanted to keep some things consistent. So the whole building obviously would have been built at the same time, with some kind of basic, not decorations, but basic furnishings like the wallpapers and the floorings and some of the built-in furniture like the cabinets in the kitchen and maybe some of the whiteware, electronics and plumbing. So you'll notice that through all 3 levels there are similar items that I use, and whilst I wasn't specifically limiting myself on packs, there were a few packs that I used a lot again and again and again through all 3 apartments, and you'll probably notice from the looks if you're very familiar with the packs. These are packs like Dream Home Decorator. I use that a lot. I use, in fact, Dream Home Decorator kitchens, I think. And a lot of the furniture from that, because they're quite modern. I wanted these apartments to feel pretty modern. I use a lot of eco lifestyle because, again, I feel like those pieces are pretty modern. I also use a lot of businesses and hobbies. Again, I just thought those 3 worked so well together. And then I also used a lot of the KiwiSimsKate Creator kit, which is the refined living room kit. So those, whilst I said not only did I use those, you'll notice again and again I use a lot of the items from those 4 packs and kits. I really love how all of these apartments turned out, and I can't wait actually to put this build in my own game, maybe in my legacy save, and have some of my family members move out of the main household into this apartment block. I do have 4 rent, so I probably will separate the 3 floors into different rental apartments. And I have play tested all 3 of them as well. So you can download it from the gallery under my ID, KiwiSimsKate. It has been play tested, everything should function, and you just choose really which apartment your sim fits best, and obviously you can refurnish it however you wish. This ground floor apartment that I'm starting with is, as I said, the most furnished and the most decorated with personal objects, personal items. In the living room, for example, there's lots of cushions and there's like a set of keys and a phone. So it really feels like it's a lot more lived in. And the others get, as you move up the levels, they get progressively simple and less furnished. Of course, I had to include the burglar alarm in every apartment because your sim does not want to get robbed. I also changed a few things. Once I got the vibe for the ground floor, that really set the tone for the other apartments as well. But you'll see I just switched from wood floorboards to this eco lifestyle, is it hexagon? Yeah, 6 sides. Yeah, hexagonal flooring. It's like kind of like a tile or a maybe a laminate flooring or something. I really like it in here. It feels really fresh, really modern, and I think the tone of that color floor works well with a lot of the Dream Home Decorator items and the businesses and hobbies. I cluttered up this little side unit for the dining room. So you walk into the front door of the ground floor and you've got this dining space, just small-ish. It's got 4 chairs, but it would fit 6 if you wanted to add a couple of chairs to each end of the table. I just thought it was going to feel a bit too crowded. And also the ground floor apartment, I think I only finished it with 1 bedroom and then an office, so it didn't really need, I didn't think, to have 6 chairs at the table. And then a few decorative items around. There's some base game items that I added that we've had over some of the recent either free updates, or we've had some really cool little items in base game. They're not necessarily functional, but they just add character to your home and a real realistic look, like the wall phone. Although I guess these days it's probably not very common to find a landline in houses. I know that my mum still has a landline. I know a lot of old family members I know have landlines, but we certainly don't. And many people my age just don't have landlines because everyone's got mobile phones these days. But I do love the realism of having a wall phone, and I wish they were functional like the ones in the previous Sims games. That would be really cool. I know there's some really cool CC and mods that you can get where you can get functional wall phones, and I think I have one of them by a winged llama, but I'm not too sure it's been updated in a while, so it might not currently work, which is a bit of a shame because I really liked it. I also added some greenery to the outside area as well. I figure whoever the manager of the apartment block is likes the building to have a bit of street appeal, so they've added some decorations to the outside of each, like the balconies for each level. This is the kitchen I was talking about earlier with the Dream Home Decorator set. I use a mixture of Dream Home Decorator, not the kitchen clutter kit. What was the one later that came with that the fridge came with, and that sink? I want to say kitchen. Oh no, I can't remember. Anyway, there's been so many kits I can't remember. A kitchen themed kit. You're probably yelling at the video right now, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure you'll know what I'm talking about. It came with some really cool kitchen items. I loved that when it came out. So I mixed that in with the Dream Home Decorator items. And what else have I used here? Some Cozy Bistro kit, that really gorgeous coffee machine, filter coffee machine, and some base game items for the wall as well. I kept it fairly simple. I didn't clutter up too much, mostly because it's a fairly small kitchen and I want it to be playable, obviously. So the more you clutter up your benches, the less likely your Sims are going to be able to use them. So I wanted there to definitely be space to cook and prepare your food in this little nook through the kitchen. So you've got like I think it's called a galley kitchen, where your kitchen is sort of to the left and the right of you, and you can either walk all the way through it, or sometimes it just ends at one end of the room. But when you walk through the kitchen, then you come to the kind of back end of the apartment. And in this nook, I added a washer dryer, which obviously, if you don't have laundry day stuff, or if you just hate having the frustration of the gameplay of laundry day stuff, which I totally understand, then you can just remove it. But I placed it here in this little nook. It felt right for me in terms of like an apartment where it might be located. A rubbish bin, obviously. I often forget rubbish bins in my kitchen, so I was happy that I didn't forget it this time. And then a few other clutter items for the kitchen that I didn't want to place, as I said, on the kitchen benches. So I just placed them on this little shelf. I think the shelf's from Island Living. And then there's a shelf opposite, which I can't remember. I think either businesses and hobbies, or I don't remember where that other shelf is that I put beside the dryer. Anyway, back here is also access to the bedroom, which I decorated quite kind of, I don't know, fancy? I don't know what style you'd call this. It's modern, it's fairly simple. The side tables here are from, I believe, the Modern Luxe kit, and the bed's Dream Home Decorator. I also thought the Sim that lives here is maybe kind of quite interested in keeping fit and going to the gym and working out, eating healthy, all of that sort of stuff. So I've placed the decorative barbells in here. I actually built this well before Adventurer Weights came out. So if I had built that now, I might have added in the functional weights, but at this time we didn't have any functional free weights. So you could definitely swap those out if you've got Adventurer Weights. And then I just wanted to select some nice artwork that would work well with the items that I've already placed. So again, going back to Dream Home Decorator, I didn't even consciously use the same packs over and over in these builds. They just all seem to fit well together, and they've got a similar style. Those curtains, I believe, are from the Modern Luxe kit as well. So I used a few items from that kit. And then this wardrobe is Businesses and Hobbies, which I love as well. I love all the items in that pack. More eco lifestyle with that wall mirror, and I think I put a little chair in the corner here, with greenery, obviously, because I love adding plants to my builds, even though in reality the amount of plants that indoor plants that I add to my Sims builds is probably, I probably wouldn't be able to keep them all alive. I do have indoor plants in my house, but only a few. I find that they can be a little temperamental sometimes. So some have lasted a really long time, and I'm quite surprised they're still alive. And then others have kind of come and gone, and yeah, I don't tend to replace them too often. This room here is the office. So I thought the Sim felt like maybe like a young professional, a real go-getter. As I said, they're kind of like gym bunny. Maybe they are starting out in like quite a professional corporate career. Maybe they're studying law or just starting a law career or something fairly corporate, I think. So they've got, obviously they can afford to live in this pretty nice apartment with quite nice furniture and things on their own perhaps, but it is a double bed, so you could easily add obviously a second sim. And then this is where they work. Maybe they work from home part-time or full-time. They've got this little desk set up. I really liked merging this wall shelf into the Dream Home Decorator desk. I thought the two objects worked really well. They had a very similar wood color, and then I just cluttered up the shelving with a few items here and there, some items from the Comfy Gamer kit, some what else is there in there? There's some more Refined Living Room kit items, and some plants, obviously. That wall light that I've used, not wall light, ceiling light that I've used in a few rooms, that's also from the Refined Living Room kit, I believe. And then this wall hanging is actually from Horse Ranch, but I feel like it's really versatile. That wall hanging I use in more traditional builds, I use in more modern builds. Depending on what swatch you select, it can work in a lot of different spaces. And then because I didn't like leaving that piece of wall blank, because I just can't help myself, I put down those those large floor paintings that lean against the wall. The last room I furnish in this apartment is the bathroom. Once I finished this apartment, this was the one that took me the longest because, as I said, it's decorated the most. It has far more items in it than the other two apartments. So once I've sort of figured out what I want to do in general with the vibe and the style and the colors, the next two apartments don't take me anywhere near as long, and the top floor is super quick because it's barely got anything in it really. So I copy over a lot of the wallpapers, the flooring, and some of the inbuilt furniture from this apartment into the next two, which is it just made me be able to finish them much faster. This bathroom uses a lot of the sleek bathroom kit items that I believe the wallpaper, that tile, is the Sleek Bathroom Kit, which is another creator kit by Ciboulette. I love that as well. Love all the modern items we got. I think the toilet's from that little clutter piece might have been from that. These towels, I think, is from the same kit. So a bunch of items from there. I think even the screen that I used to separate the shower from the rest of the room is from that. So this bathroom's pretty open plan. It's like a wet room. The whole floor is tiled. There's no real walls around the shower. The whole room's tiled, and it's got a nice modern open style shower. And then I think that's basically it for the ground floor apartment. Then I head upstairs to the first floor, and this is me first just trying to figure out what the floor plan's going to be. I think originally I was like, I'll just do them all the same, but I'll have different wallpapers and flooring. And then I decided, no, it might be kind of interesting to make some different shapes and try a few different creative floor plans. So they've each got, I also wanted to, because the ground floor apartment only has one bedroom, and I wanted to be able to give maybe some of the other floors a different sized house in terms of how many Sims could live there. So the other two apartments both have 2 bedrooms, I believe, or at least the first floor apartment has 2 bedrooms, furnished as bedrooms. They've both got beds in them. The top floor, the second floor, has 2 rooms that are completely unfurnished that you could have as 2 bedrooms. Hopefully that makes sense and isn't too incredibly complicated. But this is me, trying to figure out a few different types of floor plan. I wasn't sure, some things weren't quite working for me, but I do figure it out eventually. I think the top floor is a little less open plan, for example, than the ground floor. The ground floor is fairly open plan in terms of that first living space. You walk into the dining and you've got the living room right there, and then you've basically got a kitchen that's sort of open from the dining room. The top floor, each room is fairly separated, and then the middle floor, the first floor, I think it's the dining, is quite small in terms of the living space, but the kitchen is bigger. Like, you've got more counter space in the kitchen. It's like a horseshoe kitchen, and a dining, it's not really a dining room. You've just got a small dining table close to the kitchen, and quite a small living room. So yeah, it's really up to you in terms of what space you want to put Sims in, what space works best for however many Sims you've got, or change it all up as well is definitely a viable option. So the first floor apartment uses, again, a lot of businesses and hobbies, a lot of dream home decorator. I pulled over this tile into the kitchen here that's actually from the bathroom, the sleek bathroom kit, but I just love it so much. This thin vertical tile that I use in the bathroom downstairs. And then this eco lifestyle wallpaper. I don't think I really loved this when it first came out. And then I grew to be a little bit obsessed with it. I really, really love it. I love this warm, kind of honey wood color that it comes in. And it works well with the similar swatch in those kitchen cabinets. It just feels so warm and luxurious. So I was really happy to find a few items from across different packs that have a similar tone in wood, in a wood swatch. The living room here, I think I forgot when I was furnishing this that I was meant to be toning down the clutter and just doing basically really just the most basic of furniture in here. I started cluttering it up a little too much, and then I had to kind of pull myself back and say, no, it's not. Downstairs is most cluttered. The point of leaving the space less cluttered is that you can go in and place whatever objects you want. So I can't remember if what I'm placing down now I eventually remove, but I do remember thinking to myself, being quite conscious of the fact that I was maybe leaning too heavy into the clutter. I just, I find it hard not to. I want to add more, and it's really hard to just stop and leave things quite plainly decorated. In this apartment as well, I carry through a lot of the same wallpapers. I loved using these they're not necessarily bright colors, but quite bold paint colors on the walls. This deep olive green in this bedroom, I'm so obsessed with. I thought it worked really well with the lighter honey wood. And then I use this kind of grey hexagonal eco lifestyle flooring through most of this apartment as well. Just trying to balance out the colours so that it's not sort of too rich or overwhelming, but also not too I don't know, like plain and beige. Beige does not excite me much. So a few decorative items in this room, but again, trying to pare it back a little bit. There's this room here, which has got a double bed, and then I believe a single bed in the other bedroom, which is the kind of color theme I went for in this room was this greeny, tealy color with that honey wood tone. And then the second bedroom, which is a single, I went for like a yellow, was sort of the pop of color. This room here, I managed to squeeze in another office in this apartment. So actually this apartment's got 2 bedrooms and an office and a bathroom. So you could easily make this into a 3rd bedroom if you wanted. It could also be, you know, a child's, if you wanted to have a nursery, it's quite a perfect size for a nursery. It's kind of smallish, so you probably wouldn't get a double bed in there, but you could get a single bed, or you could get a cot or something similar, or leave it as is with the kind of desk setup as well. By this stage of furnishing this apartment, I was reminding myself, you don't have to go so intense on the clutter. Just pare it back, just select a few items per room. So I was speeding up a little bit near the end of this apartment. And in the bathroom, it's super quick because I don't copy exactly the bathroom from downstairs because I think it is a bit of a different shape, but I use almost all the same items. I just sort of change out the swatch colors and a couple of things here and there. Rather than doing an open plan type shower, I use the shower tub combo. That was quite a conscious decision as well, because I knew this was a bigger apartment in terms of bedrooms. So if you did want to have a toddler infant in this apartment, because there's definitely the space for it, then you'd be wanting a bathtub as well. Or if you had a pet, if you had a dog, you could bathe them in the bathtub as well. So this bathroom has got a shower tub and a toilet and a sink, a little bit of counter space as well, but other than that, it's pretty compact, and I didn't add too much clutter in here. And then I think I head upstairs. I think the bathroom. Oh no, I do a few things in the hallway here. I add some artwork and some mirrors and a little side table. It felt a little bit plain and lifeless in the hallway, considering how much I decorated in the other areas of the house. So I just added a few things to make it look not so boring. And then I think that's the hallway's the last bit I do, and then I shift upstairs. I didn't give this apartment any washer dryer items, so if you wanted to, you could obviously pop them somewhere. You could have the stacked washer dryer in the bathroom if you wanted, and just take out one of the counters, because you don't actually need any of the counters in the bathroom. I've just added them for decoration and for like the styling. Then I move upstairs to the very final apartment. It's the top floor. I again use almost all the same items. I change out some of the colors. I also go back into the first floor apartment, and I change some of the kind of tiled or linoleum floors to carpet. I'm really enjoying using this new base game carpet that we got not that long ago. I really like the texture. If you sort of zoom in on it, it feels very realistic, and it comes in some really nice plain swatches. So I changed to carpet for the 2 bedrooms and the office on the first floor apartment. And then the colour scheme I go for the top floor apartment is a little bit moody. The colours are a bit darker, a bit more intense. And I'm kind of obsessed with it. I think maybe if I played in this apartment block, maybe I'd move a sim in the top floor. I don't know why. I also love these concertina doors inside the house that open up from the entry dining space through to the kitchen. Oh, no, wait. I think I put the dining table in this large kitchen space, and the front is just the living room. Well, I'll see in a few minutes anyway when it comes up. But I use this vertical tile again in a beautiful dark blue swatch. Also the wallpaper from Eco Lifestyle in a much deeper wood tone, with the darker flooring as well. I just loved it so much. Oh, I think in this apartment, that's right, I didn't end up adding an official sort of dining table with chairs. I think I just go with the bar stools, or do I can't remember. I need to stop guessing and just wait and see what happens in the video. There's as I said, 2 rooms that I guess would be bedrooms. They've got carpet in them, and then a 3rd room that I've tiled, and I have a door from one of the what would be bedrooms to that as if it would be an ensuite, and then a fairly large full bathroom for the whole apartment. So I think in my head I would probably furnish it as a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment where one of the bathrooms is an ensuite from that back bedroom, because the bedroom also has a door straight from the bedroom onto the back balcony. So it's probably like if you had flatmates or something, that flatmate's probably paying a little more to be able to, have the balcony and have the ensuite, or it's the parents' room if you've got a child in the front bedroom. And that's pretty much it for the top apartment. As I said, it's very basic. It's only got what you might normally find when you move into a house or an apartment, and it's all ready for you to furnish it yourself. And then I just decorate the exterior. So I left this till last, just in case I needed to adjust any of the size of the apartment. I didn't want to do all of the exterior decoration and landscaping and then realize that I didn't have enough space inside, or I wanted to make it smaller. It's just a real hassle to do it that way. So luckily I had I had factored in the perfect amount of space. Around the front here, I used some live edit cars as if to sort of indicate that there were people already living here. And there's 2 cars, I think, out in the front eventually. And then I fence in the backyard. So there's a little space for the Sims who live here to have a pool party or hang out back here, have some friends around. Maybe they are entertaining friends or family. They can bring them back here. There's, I believe I added a grill out here, a little picnic table, some lounges. And when I realized that I was going to have this sort of communal space at the back that would be shared between all 3 apartments, I thought it was a bit awkward to have the ground floor apartment basically looking straight out into this courtyard. So I gave them a bit of a taller wall around their, I guess it's not really a balcony because they're on the ground floor, but their back patio. So they can't access this from the back of their apartment. They do need to go out the front, just like the other apartments, and to access this area. Maybe there's like a booking system or something that, each apartment has to use if they want to if they want to bring people back here. Otherwise, they can just hang out here on their own as well. But I continued this brick. I think the brick I use here is the high school years brick. I really, really like it. It's so different to a lot of the brick we have in game. So yeah, I create a bit more privacy, both for the people out in the courtyard, but also for whoever lives in the ground floor apartment. Like if you had people you didn't know hanging out in that courtyard and you just wanted to chill out in your back patio, it would feel a little awkward, I think. I mean, I would. Unless you knew and liked your neighbors. But if you didn't, I could imagine that would be really frustrating. Luckily, in The Sims, that doesn't really matter too much. Then I moved back to the front where I placed the cars that I was talking about, and then just a little space for a couple of bins. So I only added 2, I think, in the end, 2 large bins. I put 3 down here, but I think I get rid of one just for the space. And that's, I mean, you don't really need more than one even, because miraculously your rubbish just like disappears once it goes into the big bin anyway. So in terms of gameplay, you wouldn't need more than one bin no matter how many apartments you had, but just for it to look a little bit more realistic, I added 2 there. I added the little 3 mailbox item that we got for rent. And then a bunch of landscaping. So I wanted the landscaping to be fairly minimal because if this is an apartment block and, you know, then there's probably like the apartment block management that takes care of all of that stuff. So they wouldn't want to have to worry too much about anything too detailed or that takes too much maintenance. And then making it look a little bit part of the surrounding environment by adding a little, oh no, do I take that? Oh, I take the seat away. I thought about adding a little seat and a flag, and I must have changed my mind. So I'm coming up to the screenshots of this build shortly. If you like this video, like this build, and you'd like to download it, it has been play tested. It will be up on the gallery under my EA ID, KiwiSimsKate. It'll either be up as you're watching this video or not long after. So don't worry if it's not up yet. I will get it up ASAP. And if you're interested in more videos like this or more of my content, you can find me streaming over on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube simultaneously. I generally stream twice a week, and my accounts are all KiwiSimsKate, so it should be fairly easy to find me. You can check out my other videos as well on my YouTube channel, and I'm on a bunch of other socials, Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads, etc., all under KiwiSimsKate. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you're listening to this video as it comes out, then have a wonderful 2025 Christmas and New Year. I hope to have some more content out over the break. I'll be taking some time off work, and yeah, hope to hang out with you all in streams or watching these videos. And if there's anything in particular you'd like to see with my content, do let me know. Drop a comment below, hit the thumbs up if you like this video, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. It all helps to support me and my content, and it's really motivating. If you're enjoying it, then I'm enjoying it too. Thank you so much, and take care out there. Bye.